Our film Green has developed on the concept of hooks, as we created a montage which quickly grabs the audience's attention. This is similar to films such as Romeo and Juliet, which at the start is a montage. There's constant mystery throughout the film, with people not knowing, the audience not knowing how the characters are acting and why they're doing certain things until it's later revealed. It develops the idea of couples getting attacked, because there is a couple that gets attacked in our film, but it's a lesbian couple which develops this idea. The music we've used develops the idea of teenage thriller horrors, for example Scream 2, and the same modern type of music which is done.
Our media product represents, it's mainly targeted at a group of teenagers. It's using teenage concepts and concepts that teenagers of this age would be kind of familiar with. And there's no actual adults in the film, so it's kind of empowering and giving teenagers a view of what they would like ideal life to be.
The name Green reflects the idea of naivety, because it's quite an ambiguous term. It also reflects the idea of drinking, because a green bottle of beer, which is, and the party idea is quite common in teenagers, which helps represent them easily. There are lesbians in our film, and they're represented in quite a negative light at some points, because of the cheating that goes on with one of the lesbians. They're both targeted by a homophobic killer. Middle class is represented in our film with the large houses and more dressed up teenagers throughout the film.
Okay, the main media institutions that we'd like to produce our films would be either Dimension Releases and MGM kind of collaborate, because they've worked on such films like as Scream, Slevin and Hannibal, which merge the horror thriller genres together, kind of like what we're trying to do with our film. If not, it would be Wheelstar Release, which did Sicko and Hannibal Rising, which again merged the genres together and produced kind of really well thought out and well edited films aimed at teenagers.
Our target audience consists from groups C1 to E, because it's a middle class background, but we're also aiming at teenagers which go into the E group category because they have no consistent income. We're also targeting males for the violence, and the lesbians attract them quite easily, but
we attracted our audience by, there's a lot of like stereotypical teenage kind of actions, parties, drinking, like love affairs, which are stereotypically thought of when thought of teenagers, and that could branch off because the situations they are put in are something that adults could, like, obviously they could relate to it because they've been teenagers once as well, which would kind of lead on to the C1 bracket. And the range of characters we've got, there's like someone that reminds the audience of everybody. Everyone, you know, knows the kind of party animal, everyone knows just one of the characters. Yeah.
Originally I knew nothing about mini DV cameras and was very naive to the idea of it. After picking them up and getting used to it, I developed my camera skills greatly with different varied shots and things like that. With blogging, I developed how to use HTML codes and things like that.
Like, I've already had previous experience with the blogging and the HTML, so I can't really say that it's developed in any way. I can just say I've built on what I've already know. But the software used for editing the final cut, I had no prior use on, and I've pretty much learnt how to do it myself because I really didn't get any help from our technician. So yeah, I've learnt how to do transitions for video, put filters on the video, touch up video, and cut what we've importing all different files. And yeah, I think that's considerably more than I would have learnt had I have not done it.
I learnt about a range of different shots during my preliminary, such as over the shoulder and match on action. I continued using match on action throughout my film, and I developed how to use it and I made it more skillful. We also used point of view in our film, and which made it feel more stylised and stuff.
Like the shots that were used in the preliminary sequence weren't as important to our opening because they were mainly focused on these conversation, and they were all in-camera edited shots. So they weren't as helpful to us, but using the knowledge we'd learnt from that, we were able to adapt the shots for our longer piece. I also kind of learnt that working as a group on the small preliminary task was a lot easier than working on the bigger task, because there wasn't as much we could do on the preliminary. Like on working as a big group using all the editing stuff, there was more things that I could do that would cause like confliction of interest between like the film, what I like, what Bill likes, and things like that.